Hello everyone, it's me, Husky here, and today we're going to be doing a hero guide on Chewbacca. We'll be going over his damage, his health and health regen, his jump height, among other things, his abilities and all what they do, and his star cards, all and his best cards for which modes, heroes vs villains, and capital supremacy and co-op. Now let's move on to the damage and health numbers. So he has a sprint speed of 7 meters a second, with maximum jump height of 2 meters. He has a number of dodges as 2, and he has a dodge length of 4.7 meters. He has a base health of 700, and a health regen rate of 50 health a second. He has a max health regen of 200, and a regen delay of 5 seconds. He uses Chewbacca's bowcaster, which does a total of 90 to 70 damage unscoped, and 50 damage with the explosive scoped. Now let's go on to the abilities. Shock grenade. Chewbacca throws a grenade which then can be broken into a cluster of smaller missiles which electrocute enemies they hit. This lasts for 15 seconds, has a 0.75 ability duration, and is very good at disabling units to do more damage, because Chewbacca cannot do as much damage at close. Charge slam. Chewbacca charges forward and slams his fist into the ground when re-triggered, dealing high damage and knocking enemies off their feet. This ability can be activated from the air. This has a cooldown of 15 seconds, has an area effect of 8 meters, and does around 200 damage to non-heroes and 50 damage to heroes. Here's bowcaster. Chewbacca roars and overcharges his bowcaster, enabling him to fire fully charged shots. It has a 20-second cooldown, and it lasts for 25 seconds. This allows him to do more damage and shoot more bullets, especially on a higher level of damage altogether. Now let's move on to all the star cards. Here's every single star card Chewbacca owns. We'll be going over all of them, then we'll go into the best cards. Now let's move on to every single card. We'll talk about all of them. First is Charging Frenzy. Chewbacca receives even less damage while using Charge Slam. This is a good ability as you're not going to take more damage while using Charge Slam, but I wouldn't do it as you already don't take much damage and you already don't really need to go that long. Bonus health. Chewbacca has increased maximum health. This is a good candidate for a card you want to use. It increases his max health to 150 at the max rank of cards, and just allows him to survive longer, which is always what you want with Chewbacca, as he does end up taking a lot of damage while doing his closer attacks. Echoing Roar. For every enemy Chewbacca defeats while Furious Bowcaster is active, it will extend its duration. This is good, as this ability actually really does help do damage. You're going to want this to do more damage to all the co-op enemies, and do obviously just more damage. It's very good, and it's going to last even longer. Extended Shock. The shock grenade will shock enemies for a longer duration, but has a 20% longer recharge time. This is a good one. It doesn't affect too much of the seconds. I've tried it. It doesn't really work that well. But if you want to use it, by all means. Multi-Shock. This grenade splits into more parts, shocking a wider arrow. This is really good as for supremacy and co-op. You're going to be able to target a lot more enemies and even stop yourself from dying from large groups, as Chewbacca can get really overwhelmed. Impervious. Every time Chewbacca deals a threshold of 200 combined damage with any ability, he gains 2% damage reduction to a maximum. This effect resets after Chewbacca is defeated. I haven't used this one too much, as I don't feel like it actually affects too much of my gameplay, as I never really see it. But this obviously could be a good choice. Shocked and vulnerable. Enemies that are hit by shock grenade will be more vulnerable to all damage for the shock duration. This helps a lot, as you're going to be able to do more damage to heroes. Though in co-op and supremacy, I wouldn't use it, as it doesn't really affect too much. As I was trying it, it didn't really do much damage. Slam. Charge Slam deals more damage to enemies that are within half the radius of this blast. This is really good, as you're going to be able to kill tons of enemies in the blast and always know that you're going to one-shot. As you saw there, it does a lot of damage, and it's a really good card. Furious Resilience. Chewbacca receives less damage from blasters while Furious Bowcaster is active. Also another one I use a lot, as when I'm using this ability, it can also use an escape, because I don't want to die while trying to run away from the enemy. And this is a really good ability, and it's better than the Charge Slam one, as you can use it for longer. Now let's move on to what's best for star cards. What modes are best? So for heroes versus villains, I say Extended Shock, Shocked and Vulnerable, and Furious Resilience. For Extended Shock, you're going to be able to hold enemies, enemy villains for longer. Shock Vulnerable, you're going to do more damage to you and your team, easily able to kill more. And also, Furious Resilience, when you're using the Bowcaster, you're going to want to use these abilities, so you could shock the enemy, pop your Furious Bowcaster, and then kill people. And it's just going to kill villains a lot faster. Furious Resilience also for co-op and supremacy. Furious Resilience, Slammed, and Echoing Roar. Chewbacca receives less damage from blasters while Furious Bowcaster is active. Charge Slam deals bonus damage to enemies that are within half of its radius, and Echoing Roar. These are really good as you're going to be able to kill more and more enemies as you use these abilities, and it's honestly just really going to help you kill all the droids and all the Empire's stormtroopers. Thank you for watching. This has been a hero guide on Chewbacca. I'll see you guys in the next one for Darth Vader. Okay, see you guys. Bye.